What's up, guys? I am building a Lift 33 for me to shoot just for fun. Got tired of shooting the 29.5 for a little bit and wanted to go to a little bit longer axle bow. So I figured let's build a 33 just so I can have a more forgiving and stable platform. So figured we'd just show y'all kind of what we do on a day-to-day. Gonna build up this 33 here and get it shooting. Gonna run some stuff I normally don't run, but this is just a good way for us to test out products and get a better review, and then who knows, maybe convert this over to our actual bow. So it's a good way to test products, one of the perks of the job. So that is the fastest I've ever leveled up a bow on that vise. And I'm going to be shooting some VAP SS's out of this bow, so it is important to tie a D-loop to the arrow that you're going to be shooting. Let me just double check my levels here. Yeah, that's crazy how fast that was. Lined it up quick, so like I do this every day. But yeah, important to tie up a D-loop and size it to the exact knock that you're going to be running. It's important to do, especially if you run lighted nocks or different nocks. If you don't use the stock ones that come with it. And I don't cinch down my D-loop tight all the way. Typically, I mean, I'll get it a good tension, but it helps when I can go ahead and rotate the string, rotate my peep, just to get it set straight from the get-go. Then I can go back and cinch the D-loop so it won't want to move. So let's see, what are we going to throw on this bow? I got a Q80 already on it. I'll get that ran through the cable. Definitely taking that off. Throw that away. If you know me, you know I'm not a fan of the Mathews grips. They're just, I don't know. I like a more square and flat back. Kind of like what the Ultra View provide. I have run the Mathews Engage, or not the Engage, the side plates before. I like those as well. They're a little bit slimmer. But to each their own. I've just never been a fan of the Mathews grip per se. So, gonna bust out, and it's OD green. How about that? If you guys have never installed a V-Row grip, and very, very important, take all that sticky residue that's off the grip. Now we got a smooth grip. Hey, Ultra View, make one where I can still use my shot sense on y'all's grip, please. I will take a Dremel to my grip if I need to, but I'm giving y'all some time to make up that grip. And then, guys, it's just like a perfectly snug fit. Wish there was a little cutout here where I can still run my shot sense, maybe eventually. But clean as can be there. Let's run a sight. What sight should we put on it? I'm gonna throw the slider on. A lot of good things about this sight here. I wanted to give it a go, a realistic go. I haven't shot it too much outside the shop because they were extremely back ordered for a while. How easy that is, put it on there. Boom. So we're gonna throw that on there. I like the customization. You can change your VIGS rings on these sights, deck it out, but cool light feature. The pins are a little bit dim for my liking, but I want to give it another chance. I want to take it outside and actually do some long range shooting, hence why I'm building a 33. Want to launch some bombs with it and just see what it's all about. I might end up swapping this for the 3-pin vertical because I do like a vertical look the best. So let's throw on the slider. All right, I got the bow. Run that on there. Let's get this off. New to the store, guys, we are carrying Benchmade now, so that's pretty cool. You can get yourself a good Benchmade knife. Really good company there, good warranties, good resharpenability. They hold their edge really well, etc., etc. Not trying to sell y'all stuff, but just trying to show y'all some of the goods that we have in the shop now. So let's see. I like it right about there to start. Make sure we're in that hole. Good to go. All right. Now, since we're here, go ahead and level this guy up a little bit. Alright, first and second's good. I'm going to check the third. This is just a quick way to check it. It's not exact, but it's a good starting point. Go knock an arrow, tilt this back, and I should be able to see my arrow. So I got my limb pocket here, my limb bolt running down my riser, arrow dead center of that, and then I'm going to run that arrow. If I had a stabilizer, I could check it there as well. But I'm going to run that arrow and see how this sight basically meets like a cross or a T, and that's a good way to tell how that sight's, you know, tilted in or out on your third axis. This one's already pretty flat. Again, it's not going to be exact. That's a good starting point. I'll double check the third here in a little while when I draw back and do all that. But for now, it's pretty close. All right. And we're getting a phone call. The work never stops. Oh, it's my good friend Casey Potter. Let's see what he's up to. What's up, Casey? What are you doing, man? Yes, sir. Can't go wrong with him, so we'll holler at you later, buddy. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right. And I roughly, since I've shot a 33 for the last 3 or 4 years, kind of know where my peep sits. Sits at about 5 1/4. So that's a great starting spot. Let's see if y'all can see this peep here. Let's see if we can bring this camera. All right, so if it'll focus. My peep there's sitting straight, but if you notice my D-loop, sitting sideways. That's the main reason why I don't cinch up that D-loop right away. Because if it was too tight, I'd have a hard time. But now, I can flip it, flip those knots around. Good little trick there. And it's a good starting point to get that, you know, perfectly straight and lined up. That's just gonna help with that peep rotation. And then I can go back in here and tighten them up a little bit with my good pliers over there. All right, got that in there, good to go. Now let's just double check it. We'll go on the range, double check that length, and make sure that rest is timed up, and then we'll tie it in and we'll be shooting basically. So let's go check it out. When you're checking this stuff, got the stand axis release on that I've been using. Just a tick low. Yep. Like that. Cord has tension on it. A good rule of thumb when you're checking these QADs is they should come up within like the last inch to 2 inches of your draw time. So that perfectly came fully tilted up in the lock position right there, right before it broke over and hit that back wall. So if your cord is too tight, it can definitely throw off cam timing. So just double check that. If it's too tight too early, chances are your cam timing can be a little bit out of whack. But peep's good. Let's go tie it in real quick, and then we're ready to get this sighted in, get it shooting. So, all right, many ways to tie in a peep. This one's just pretty simple. Everyone can do it. Haven't had issues with these sliding around too much or coming out ever. So I'm just gonna do a double knot there. Cinch it down, and then I'm gonna go underneath, kind of like I'm serving in a knock set. double, come up, do one more to end up top here. Like those knots to sit right on top. Where's my lighter at? Found it. All right guys, when you're burning, serving next to a string, flame up, keep that in mind. Just be mindful where that flame is at all times. And I'll turn that peat to get it exactly flame up, or I don't ever want the part I'm burning to be underneath the string and that flame going up or on the side. So like right now it's kicked up to the side. I'll physically turn that up, flame up. No chance ever it'll get the string there. So wrap, and this is basic serving. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cinch that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do however many you want. I have a specific number in mind. Lay that over here and I'll serve it back in. So I've done 13 total wraps there. Just like that. Cut that end. Flame up. Turn it. Flame up. Be careful on your breathing as well. If you breathe like onto the string, you can breathe that flame. Can breathe the flame right onto where you're trying to serve in at. Get this other side. Same number, so 13 is my number. So 1, 3, 4, 5. Pull it. We're going to serve that part in. 4, 5. Cinch it. There's your loop. 1 through, 2 through. Whoops. 1 through, 2 through, and 3. I'm going to lay that on this back side, and then I'm going to bring my loop around. 1, 2, 3. And then I got my tag in, I have my loop. I'm just going to pull it through. Just like so. Cut that. Voila, last but not least, the rest, I go ahead and do a loop on my QAD here. Let me get this on the camera. You'll see this knot right here. That knot is going to keep that cable or that cord from pulling through the cable. So then I'll trim off this excess and you'll be good to go. That little trick of looking at it gets it pretty close. Not always exact, but it's a good starting point. So let's just see where we're at. So ideally I'm trying to line up that top bubble to the side bubble. And that looks pretty close. Let me check it one more time. Actually, it looks almost perfectly spot on. So let me just double check. Again, I'm lining up this bubble first, and then I'm comparing it to see where my sight bubble is. If my sight bubble is off, I will then make an adjustment on the third axis. Good. And dead center. Wow. That makes it easy when they're already spot on out of the gate on the third. So perfect there. Take this little, this is the easy third axis level by Hamsky. So it makes it real easy to check that third. You can move it around, see that bubble from all sorts of angles. But let's go throw a stab on this thing and then shoot it through paper and just kind of see where we're at. Let's go. All right, let's run it through paper. See where we're at. I'll make sure I get a good grip, good bow. Pull through the shot. All right, so we got knock right tear. Pretty common. And slightly knock high. So I'm gonna double check timing. And then I'm gonna flip that top hat and see where we're at. Let's go do that. Check timing right quick. There's the culprit right there, fellas. Let's see if I can get this tripod. Top mod is hitting there. Bottom mod is off. Let's add a twist to the top, slow it down a little bit. Branch. I'm setting up a 33 for me. Ooh, give you some competition. My top was ahead, so I'm going to put a twist into that top cable to slow it down. So one twist there. And then
lunch.
I'm just gonna eat some lunch. Number one rule, you gotta have time to eat lunch. And remember, so we had a knock high right. So knock right, can go to right. And I'm gonna flip these top two top hats here. Just to get that straightened up. If you wonder why they call them top hats, they look like a Abe Lincoln top hat. So I'm putting the thinner spacer or top hat on the right side so that cam naturally shifts right. On that axle back through. On these new axles, guys, don't twist that screw overly tight. It'll flatten that, whatever you want to call that, little button that's on the back side. And always, guys, when you press a bow, if you're working your own stuff, double check your yokes are in the same place. They can slip off easily. Double check your cables are on there. All right, let's check timing again. All right, so we have just a little bit of space. This one's not quite touching. This right one is now touching. So that full twist was a little much. I'm just gonna take a half twist out of that, and that should speed everything back up and get it perfectly timed. All right, flip the top hats, got timing, good to go. Let's see if that fixed our pick tune here. So there's the first one. We were knock high and knock right. And what I'm looking at, guys, there's the point. Here's the vein in the knock. So that arrow coming out is doing this motion. So my thumb's the knock. It's doing that motion there. Got it in time. Flip the top hats. This one's really, really close. So sometimes you come to the backside, get a better look. Height's good. I can see just a little bit more space over here. I can tell this is on this right side on this vane. That right side, this left side on this back side. So I have a knock left here now. Hard to tell from this side, but if you look at it, this point is ever so slightly on that vane on the right. So my arrow is just slightly, just barely going that way. So just a quick micro adjust. I'll move that rest in just a fraction. That'll straighten it up, but that's good enough for me to start at and go from there. We're gonna sight this in. We're gonna do a video on the UV slider sighting process. With this specific slider distance scope, you use this middle pin to sight in first, since that's your fixed pin. I'll do a whole breakdown of it, but just keep in mind I'm using this middle pin for now. So let's see how close I guessed on left and right, up and down. Let's just see what it looks like. Not bad. I'm a little high. And I'm a little right. Chase the arrow, guys. Missing right, move it right. All right, let's go take a look at those. So, going at the nail. First shot was high and right. Second shot was close height and still just a fraction right. I'm gonna kick it down a little bit because I want to be hitting kind of the top section of that nail in here, because this is 19.8 yards. So, kicked it down a little. I'm still hitting just a fraction right. Micro adjust is nice. Move it right. Alrighty. Shot number 3, sighting it in here. Better. Ever so slightly on the right side of that nail. Could be me. All right, shot 4. Let's try to bust that nail or that arrow. All right, look at those. Height's perfect. This is the one, my second one that I made a little bit more adjustment. I probably could have kept it where this first shot was. First shot's on the right center of that nail. I overcorrected by moving it right. I missed this one just a fraction left. So I'll bump it left just a fraction. All right, so that's a Lift 33 build. One that I'm gonna just tinker with and shoot. Probably add a nose button just because I like a nose button. But I have the Lift 33 and 28.5-inch draw, 70 pounds roughly. Didn't check all that. Not too worried about the specs. UV slider sight. I'm gonna give this one a real chance. Probably do a sight-in video for you guys there to show y'all how we sight in these sliders. And then trying this 12-inch Bee Stinger bar just for fun. I might throw a 10-inch bridge lock on there just because this seems a little long, but it's gonna be a long range, more like a 3D target bow. So hope y'all enjoyed the bow build. This is kind of what we do on a day-to-day basis. Just test out some products so we can give you guys some, good feedback and can help answer your guys' questions, if you have any. So check out our other videos. Be watching for the slider video. That'll be coming shortly. And then we'll go from there. Thanks for your support, guys. Appreciate it.